Hi there! If you want to make a Roblox game, you have come to the right place. In this tutorial, you will learn everything you need to know about Roblox Studio to make your own Roblox game, including how to publish your game to Roblox. In fact, you will be able to publish your first game to Roblox within the first couple of minutes of this video. So let's get right down to it. If you want to play a Roblox game, all you need to do is to go to roblox.com and select any game you want to play. But if you want to make and build your own Roblox games, you will need to use Roblox Studio to build your Roblox games. Let us now go and download Roblox Studio. To download Roblox Studio, just get to this page, create.roblox.com. If you don't see a menu on the left-hand side of your browser, like I don't see my menu here, then click on these three bars here. If you already have this menu, then just scroll down to the bottom and click on Studio. By clicking on Studio, it's gonna download Roblox Studio to your device. If you already have Studio on your device, it's just gonna open up Roblox Studio. So let's click on it. I already have Roblox Studio on this device, so it just opens up. Once you get to this page, you're gonna see all the different templates that you can use to make your game. If you don't see the same page that we're seeing right here, that's because you need to click on this button, the new button here, and you will see this page. Now that we have learned how to download Roblox Studio and how to open up Roblox Studio on our device, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna learn how to make a Roblox game. Again, these are all the different templates that you can use to make a new Roblox game. So for example, if you want to make an obby game, you may want to pick this template, the obby template. But for right now, we're just going to select a classic baseplate. Click on classic baseplate. This is your workspace right here, so you can add things to this workspace. And when you're done, when you're ready to publish your game to Roblox, you're going to click on File here, select Publish to Roblox. You're gonna enter the name and description of the game. My second Roblox game, because I have already made my first Roblox game. Again, the description, you can put in whatever you want. I'm gonna copy this and paste in the same description as the title, but you can put in whatever you want. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna resize my window because I cannot see the button at the bottom of the window. And there it is, that's the create button. If you like, you can turn off team create if you're not working with another person, and then click on create. We have successfully published our game to Roblox. Now you can go ahead and close everything. Close this window, close Roblox Studio. When you go back to create.roblox.com, just click on this menu again and select Creations. You should see the game that you have just published to Roblox. Mine is right here, my second Roblox game. I'm gonna select these three dots here and view on Roblox. Here you see the title of your game, the person that made the game, and the description of the game. And to play the game, just press the green button here. And now I'm playing my own Roblox game that I've made. Just want to show you another way to create your Roblox game is to go to this creation page where it's showing all the games that you have made. Here you have a button here, create experience. So you can just click on this button, create experience, and it's gonna take you to this page. You just have to follow the same steps that we have done earlier to make your own Roblox game. Congratulations on making your first Roblox game. Before we continue, I just want to remind you to take this opportunity to click that subscribe button under the video so you don't lose touch with our channel in the future. And click that bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials that are posted in the future. And if you like this tutorial, please do share it with your friends. Leave us a comment under the video. We love to see your comments. You're probably wondering right now, what if I need to make a change to my existing game? How would I modify and update an existing game? Well, to modify and update an existing game, you have to use Roblox Studio. So just go to the menu here, the side menu, go to the bottom, click on Studio to open up Studio. Or if you have already downloaded Studio to your device, you can just double click the Roblox Studio icon here on the desktop. When you get to this page, you want to click on the My Games button and you will see your games there. This is the game that we have created. Or you can also click on the Recent button to see your game there. Just double click on the game. This is going to open up your game inside Roblox Studio. Here you can make any changes you like. When you're done, don't forget to click on File and Publish to Roblox. Now your new changes has been published to Roblox. Next, we're going to go over all the important tools inside Roblox Studio that you need to know in order to make your own Roblox game. First thing we're going to learn is how to toggle on and off the menu ribbon. So this here is your menu ribbon. And if you look over here, you see a little caret. If you hover your mouse cursor over it, it says toggle ribbon visibility. So just click on it and you can toggle on and off the menu ribbon. Now let's say if you don't see these two windows here, the Explorer window and the Properties window inside your Roblox Studio. Don't panic. To display those two windows, just click on the View menu tab and you have the two buttons here, one for the Explorer and the other one is for the Properties window. So you can toggle them on and off. Next, we're going to learn about camera movement and positioning and how to set the camera speed inside Roblox Studio. So you can see I've added a little part here. Just don't worry about that now. We're going to learn everything about parts very soon. For now, let's learn about how to move our camera. So in Roblox Studio, you're going to use the WASD key to move your camera. So try and just click inside the workspace first and then use the W key, use the S key, use the A key, and the D key to move your camera. You can also use the Q key and the E key to move the camera. So here's the E key and here's the Q key. Now if you select your part, you see I have a part here. If I select the part and I press F, it puts the part in focus. You can also use the scroll wheel on the mouse to zoom out and zoom in. The left mouse button is for selecting a part or to drag a part. On the other hand, you can use the right mouse button to control your camera. You see, I'm just clicking and holding down the right mouse button and move the mouse, I can control my camera. You can slow down the camera movement by holding down the Shift key before moving your camera. So for example, if I just move my camera right now, normally it moves pretty fast, but if I hold down the Shift key and move the camera, you can see it moves much slower. You can also use the meter bar to change the speed of your camera. So if you hover the mouse cursor to this area over here, you can see there is a meter bar. Now if you select a higher number, the camera will move much faster. And if you select a smaller number, like 0.5, the camera will move much slower. To get the meter bar, you can hover your mouse cursor in this area over here till you see the bar, or you can just press down the right mouse button and then use the scroll wheel to select the speed. And that's how you control and position the camera and set the camera speed inside Roblox Studio. This little thing right here is called the View Selector. You can move this and put it anywhere you like. And you can also use the View Selector to move your camera. You can see on the View Selector is showing you the directions of the axis. Like this is the Y-axis, this is the Z-axis, and here is the X-axis. It also shows you which direction you're looking at. So right now I'm looking at the back of this part. Now if I move my world, now I'm looking at it from the left-hand side. Now you can click on the View Selector. You can click at the corner of the View Selector to move your camera, or you can click on one of the sides. For example, if I want to look at my world from the top, I'm going to click at the top, and now I'm looking at my world from the top. And finally, you can toggle on and off your view selector by going to the View menu tab and click on View Selector to toggle it on and off. And here comes the more interesting stuff we've been waiting for. We're going to look at Roblox parts and their properties. So let's go ahead and position our camera to where we want to place a part using the WASD key and the right mouse button to position your camera. And now we're going to go ahead and go up here, click on part. You can see a part appearing in your workspace. Now you can move this part, drag it, and place it anywhere. This here is a block, but you have 5 different options. For example, here's a sphere, and here is a cylinder. You can customize your part by selecting the part. Go to the properties window. You can change the color of the part. For example, I'm going to make it red. Or you can select a color from this palette here. For example, I'm going to select something kind of yellow-green. You can change the material of the part. For example, how about crack lava? Let's change it back to plastic. You can also change the transparency of the part. The default is 0. If I make it 1, it disappears. Or you can choose somewhere in between. I'm going to put it back to 0. In this section up here, you have 4 different options. You have to select, move, scale, and rotate the part. Select is to select a part. You can use the move button to move a part. Let me select this part, and I'm going to move it up, to the side, back and forth. You can scale the part, resize the part, and you can rotate the part. On the left here, you have your copy, paste, cut, and duplicate option. For example, I'm going to select this part here and click on duplicate. Now I have 2 different parts. You can also do all that by right-clicking on the part inside the Explorer window. For example, if I want to right-click on this part, I can cut. I can paste it back into the workspace. Let's try other options. We can copy and paste it into the workspace. So now we have 2 different parts here. Now instead of right-clicking and selecting an option from here, you can use the shortcuts. For example, duplicate is Control D. So instead of right-clicking and select duplicate, I can just select the part and do Control D 2 times. And now I have 2 more copies of the same part. Using the Snap to Grid tool, you can accurately align, rotate, and position your parts. To use the Snap to Grid tool, you're going to click on the Model menu tab, and here are the Snap to Grid tool. Let's say if you want to rotate this part by exactly 90 degrees, just check this box here, and now click on Rotate. You can rotate the part by exactly 90 degrees. In fact, you can enter any specific amount to rotate into this box. For example, by 45 degrees, hit enter. And now we're going to rotate the part by 45 degrees each time. Here you see I have a red wall. I'm going to do a Control D a couple of times, 1, 2, 3 times. If I want to evenly space out the balls, I'm going to check this box here, move, and I'm going to set the number of studs to space them out. So for example, by 10 studs, and click on move. We're going to move the ball out by 10 studs each time. This is how you evenly space out your part. You can even select all these balls, do a Control D, and then you can move it in the other direction. Control D again, and move. Now if you look at it from the top, you're going to see that the balls are all evenly spaced out. Another way to use the Snap to Grid is to press and hold down the Shift key. So without checking these boxes, let me go ahead and duplicate this part, Control D. So now I have 2 parts at the same location. If I press down the Shift key and I move the part, it's gonna move by this amount, by the Snap to Grid amount. Let's take a look. See, it moved by 10 studs. Now, without pressing down the shift key, you can see it's moving by a very small amount. But press down the shift key and pull it, it snaps to the grid. And the same goes for the rotate. If I press down the shift key and I want to rotate, it's going to rotate by 45 degrees each time. To anchor a part, you just have to select the part and click on Anchor to anchor a part. You can also anchor a part by selecting the part and go to the Properties window. Go to the Anchor property and you can toggle on and off the Anchor property to anchor the part. Why do we need to anchor a part? Well, here you see I have two different parts. So the red ball is anchored. The green ball is not anchored. They're both hanging in the air. So if I play test right now, the red ball will stay in the air and the green ball will fall down to the ground because it's unanchored. Another reason to anchor a part is the anchor part cannot be moved, but the green ball, I can go and kick it around. Let's play test and take a look. So as we have expected, the red ball just stayed where it was anchored and the green ball fell down to the ground, and now I can go and move the green ball to any way I want. I can kick it, but the red ball cannot be moved. Here you see I have a red ball and a green ball. The green ball, I'm going to turn off the Can't Collide property, and the red ball has the Can't Collide property turned on. Now let's play and see what happened. Only the red ball remains on the platform. The green ball has disappeared. Why is that? Because the green ball has fallen through the platform and the base plate because the Can't Collide property is off, so it does not collide with any object inside the workspace and it falls right through. On the other hand, the red ball has the Can't Collide property on and it stops when it hits something inside the workspace. On the right hand side of the rotate button, you find a collisions option. So with this turned off, if you move the part, you can easily move the part through another part. But with collisions turned on, it's going to stop when it hits another part. It works very similarly to the Can't Collide property of a part, except this is colliding inside your Roblox Studio workspace. Once you are all done with building your game, you should play test your game. To play test your game, you just come up here and press the play button. And now I'm testing my game inside Roblox Studio to make sure everything's working. Now if your game has a very large map, you want to test a specific location inside the map, you can use the Play Here option. The Play Here option is you have to click on the arrow under the play button and you have the Play Here option. Before you use this option, just position your camera to where you want your character to spawn in. For example, I want my character to spawn in on top of this yellow platform. I'm going to click the down arrow and select Play Here. My character has spawned in at the exact location where I have selected. The other option we have underneath here is the Run option. You use the Run option to test the physics inside the game. For example, if I choose Run right now, you're going to see that the platform is going to fall down, the balls are going to fall down, and the green ball is going to fall through the platform because it has Can't Collide property turned off. Let's run and take a look. You see everything falls down and the green ball falls through the platform and disappears. And those are the different options for you to play test your game inside Roblox Studio. Here you see I have placed 3 blocks together. Now if I press run, they're going to fall down and fall apart. To keep the blocks from falling apart, you will need to weld them together. The easiest way to weld together blocks is to use joint surfaces. To use joint surfaces, just come up here, right underneath collisions, check the box that says joint surfaces. And now you can simply place the blocks together to weld them together. For example, I'm going to select this block here and I'm just going to place it on top of the other block until I see a white outline. It means that the two has been welded together. You can also see the weld. If you check the Explorer window and go to the part, you see there is a weld underneath the part. Now I'm going to select the other part. I'm going to move the other part down. Now that part has been welded to the other part. and there is also a well underneath the part. And now if we run to test, you're gonna see that these 3 blocks are gonna fall down, but they will stay together. Let's take a look. You see they don't fall apart because they have been welded together. Right above joint surfaces and collisions, you have the mode option. The regular mode is geometric mode. Now if you switch this mode to physical, you can see the buttons here, the color of the buttons have changed. Physical mode will take the physics into consideration. For example, if I have parts that are welded together, when I move one part, all the parts will move with it. Let's take a look. I'm gonna move this top part here, and the whole thing will move with the part. As opposed to if we go to geometric mode, I can simply move this one part by itself. In another example here, I have 2 balls. This one is anchored and this one is not anchored. So in geometric mode, I can move the balls anywhere I want. But if I switch to physical mode, it will take the physics into consideration. So this ball is anchored and it cannot be moved. This one is not anchored and I can still move it around. In Roblox, a spawn location indicates the location where players are gonna start or gonna spawn in when they start to play your game. A game without a spawn location, players are just gonna spawn into a default location, which is usually at location 000. To add a spawn location to the game, you're gonna go to your workspace, click the plus sign, and select spawn location. Now you can place this spawn location anywhere you want. I'm just gonna place it right here on the start. So this is my starting place. So let's rename this platform here to start. And we're gonna rename this platform to end. Next thing I wanna do is I wanna go to my model menu tab. I wanna set my move to 3 studs. And I wanna build an obby. So I'm just gonna select the first ball here. I'm gonna move it up by 1 click. This one, I'm gonna move it up by 2 clicks. This one by 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. This one by 4 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is the final platform. When you reach this platform, you're gonna win. So we're gonna move that up here. And now go to your workspace, look for the base plate, select the base plate, press delete. Now this next step is very important. Just make sure all your parts here are anchored and have Can't Collide turned on. You can see all my parts here are anchored and Can't Collide is on. Now let's play test and take a look. You can see I have spawned into the spawn location, and now let's play the game. We almost made it. Yay! I won. If you like, you can customize your spawn location. For example, I'm gonna select my spawn location here, press F to put it in focus, and now I can resize my spawn location to make it smaller. You can also change the color of your spawn location. For example, I'm gonna go to my properties window, and instead of gray, I'm gonna select blue. And if you prefer, you can even make it invisible. For example, I'm gonna change the transparency to 1 to make it invisible. If you like the way it looks, you can leave it like that. Or if you wanna make it completely invisible, you can go and remove the decal. So go to your spawn location here, expand it, you see a decal, just select it and press delete, and it's gone. Now your spawn location is completely invisible, but the players will still spawn at that location. Let's play and take a look. You can see I still spawn at the same exact location, but the spawn location is invisible. To playtest your game, you can simply go up here and press play to playtest your game, but that only gives you 1 single player inside the game. So how can you be sure that your game is going to work when there are multiple players inside the game? If you need to test multiple players inside your game, you can go and click on this test menu tab here, and then you can select local server, and you can select the number of players inside the game. For example, here I'm gonna select 2 players inside the game and press start. Now I'm testing with 2 players inside the game. So here you can see I have 2 different windows. This first window on the left here is for player number 2, and the second window on the right is for player number 1. So now I can test my game with 2 players inside the game. Once you are done testing, click on Cleanup to close all the windows. You can click on Leave here. And now you're back inside Roblox Studio. To test to see how your game would look on different devices, again, you can go to this Test menu tab and go to the section right here, Emulation. You want to click on Device. And here you can select which device you want to test on. For example, I'm gonna test on the iPhone 7 Plus. Once you have selected the device, just press play to play tests. You have the control over here, so you can run around. This is the jump button. And now I'm play testing inside the iPhone 7 Plus. Once you're all done, just press stop here. And then you can turn off the device here to go back to Roblox Studio. The next part here, we are going to learn how to build our game using the terrain editor. So let's go ahead and create a new game and select base plate for the template. Once you're inside Roblox Studio, let's go to the workspace. We're going to select the base plate, press delete. Now we're going to go up here and click on the terrain editor. In the create tab, we're going to click on generate. I'm going to change the size to 640, 320, and 640. And down here, you can select whatever you like to have inside your game. So I'm going to check the water box here, the Arctic box, and the canyons. And scroll down to the bottom, click on generate. Now we can go ahead and close this terrain editor. And I'm going to select the spawn location. Click on move. We're going to move it up. Move it up some more. Let's now play test and take a look. So I have spawned into the spawn location. And let's go around and take a look. So I see grass on this side. And let me look around. I see mountains over there. Let me go to the mountain. There's also a big lake on this side. So I'm running on top of the grass. I'm gonna go for a swim. I'm swimming inside the lake, and now we're looking at it from underwater. Alright, let me go back up. I'm up on top of the mountain. So if you like to have like nature in your game, like mountains and grass, you may want to use the terrain editor to make your game. Let me see what's in here. It is a cave. So you can go inside the cave and explore. Anyway, so this is a quick tutorial on how to use the terrain editor in Roblox. And we're going to look at it more in our later tutorials. Next, we're going to learn how to get free stuff from Roblox. We can get stuff like models, sounds, images, and a lot more from Roblox. So let's now go and create a new game. We're gonna go to Roblox Studio and we're gonna select flat terrain template. To get free stuff from Roblox, you're gonna go to your toolbox. So click on Toolbox. In this window here, there are 4 different tabs. The first one is the marketplace. The second one are all your inventories. So these are all the items that you have downloaded or you have made. They all appear in this one tab here. The next tab here are your recent items. So they are the items that you have recently used. And the last tab are your creations. So these are the items that you have created yourself. Today we're going to focus on the first tab, which is the marketplace. And this is where you can get all the free stuff. You can either search for an item, or you can just select the item here. Like over here you have different categories. You have the trending items, you got the essential items. So if you like an item, you can just click on the item. And up here you have a drop down menu. So these are all the models that you can get. You can also get other things, plugins, the audio, the images, the meshes, and a lot more. Let's now look for an item, a model. And I'm just gonna come down here and I'm just gonna pick this car right here. So if you want the car, just click on the car, click OK here, close this toolbox window, and let's play test and take a look. So there is my car. I'm gonna run to my car, hop into my car, and now I can drive around. That is how you can get free stuff from inside Roblox Studio. If you prefer, you can also get the free items directly from the Roblox Marketplace webpage. You're gonna go to your Creator Hub and click on Marketplace. You can find the same items that you have found inside Roblox Studio. You have them organized by categories, the trending items, and the essential items. How about we pick a different car? This time we're gonna pick this red car. So I clicked on the red car, and here you have to click on Get Model. It's gonna go into your inventory tab. Back inside Roblox Studio, you're gonna open up your toolbox again, and now go to your inventory tab, which is the second tab. Here you can see the red car from the Roblox Marketplace webpage. Just click on that, and it goes into your workspace. Just a word of caution, whenever you download free models from Roblox, if they have scripts, they come with scripts, you just gotta be careful, because some scripts could be bad for your games. Here I'm just gonna click OK, and then I'm gonna move this car to another location. Let's now play and take a look. And here we go, checking out my new car. So those are the two ways that you can get free models, free images, free sounds for your games. Now we're gonna learn how to add background music to our games. You're gonna go to the toolbox again, go to the marketplace, select audio. You can select the type of music you like. For example, I'm gonna select electronic. I'm gonna try this first song here. If it sounds good, just select the workspace and press Insert. With your sound file selected, go to the Properties window, check the box that says Loop, and check the box that says Playing. And press play and take a look. Now we have background music in our game. Next, we're gonna learn how to organize the parts inside our games. Let's take, for example, I have a bunch of parts here, from here to here. They are the middle parts here. So I wanna organize them. Instead of having the parts all over the place here, I wanna organize them into one folder. I can select all those parts, right click, and group as a folder. So now I have this folder. I can rename the folder middle parts, and now if I expand that folder, I'm gonna see all the middle parts over here. I think I'm missing one part here, one middle part here, the green one. So I'm just gonna select that, drag it, and drop it into this folder. Now my folder contains all the middle parts. And if I close this folder, you can see now it's much neater. My workspace is much cleaner. Let's say if I change my mind and I want to separate the parts, I can go to my folder and just right click and do an ungroup to ungroup all the parts back to the workspace. On the other hand, let's say if I have something that is like a table or a chair or a house, Let's take, for example, we have a house, right? And we have like the house has 2 windows, a door, and a roof. We want to group all that into one object that is called a house. So instead of grouping them into a folder, you can select all the objects that form the house and right click and group them as a model. And now you can rename them as a house. To ungroup the model, you can do the same thing. You can right click on the model and ungroup. And I also want to point out you have those options up here in the menu ribbon. So if you want to group using this option up here, just select all your parts, click on group, and it groups it as a model. To ungroup, you have the little arrow here, just do ungroup. And by the way, you have the other option here as well to group as a folder. But now I'm just gonna ungroup. That is how you use group, ungroup to organize the items inside your games. In this scenario, you can see here I have 3 different objects, the green, the yellow, and the red object. Now, if I don't want to move any of those objects by mistake while I'm working on my game, what I can do is I can lock any object that I don't want to change. For example, I don't want to change the red wall here, so I'm going to go up here and click on the lock, and I'm going to choose the red wall to lock the red wall. So now the red wall cannot be moved while I'm working in my game. Let's take a look. I'm going to select the green object, I can move that. I'm going to select the yellow object, I can move that. But the red wall cannot be selected, so I cannot move the red wall by mistake. Once I'm all done with my work, I can unlock that object by clicking on this again and go back to the red wall and unlock the red wall. So now if I want to move the red wall, I can move it again. Let's say if I want to lock a bunch of objects. So instead of clicking on the lock and choose each one to lock, I can just select them all and then go to the properties window, look for a locked property and check that box. So now all the selected objects are locked. And when I'm done with my work, I want to unlock all the objects. I can just go up here and click on the down arrow and unlock all to unlock all the objects. And you can see the lock property. These 3 objects has been unlocked. Let's now learn how to build a campfire in Roblox. First thing we're gonna need is to have some wooden sticks for our campfire. So we're gonna go to the toolbox, we're gonna search for wooden sticks. You can choose any one. I'm gonna choose this first one right here. Close this toolbox to make it a little bit longer and maybe to make it a little bit wider. All right, and I'm gonna rotate the stick so that it's laying down. And then we're gonna click on collisions and we're gonna move it down to the base plate. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn off collisions and then I'm gonna do Control D to duplicate this wooden stick a couple of times. I got 5 different parts right now. I think that's enough. And now we're gonna click on rotate and we're gonna separate those parts. Now we're just gonna need to add a fire to the metal. So I'm gonna use a part, I'm gonna use a sphere. I'm adding a sphere, I'm gonna scale it, make it a little bit smaller, or much smaller. And let's paint it red. We're now gonna move it to the center of this, and I'll move it down a little bit. Okay, and anchor that sphere so it doesn't move anywhere. I believe all the sticks are already anchored. If you want to check, you can see all the sticks are already anchored. Now, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a fire to that sphere. So we're gonna go to the model menu tab, we're gonna go to gameplay, effects, and we're gonna add a fire. Just make sure when you doing that, you're selecting the sphere. Let me see if the sphere is selected. No, it was not selected. So I actually put the fire into one of the wooden sticks. So let me just delete that and let's do it again. First thing you want to do is you want to select the sphere. So the fire is in the middle. And then we're gonna go to Gameplay, Effects, Fire. Now the fire is added to the sphere, and you can see this is the sphere right here, so the fire has been added to the sphere. You can change the size of the fire by selecting the fire and go to the properties of the fire and change the size. The default is 5, we're going to change it to 10. So now we have a very large fire. You can also add smoke to the fire. So I'm going to select the part again, which is the sphere, and we're going to go to Gameplay, Effects. We're going to add some smoke. Let's now play and take a look. So there is the campfire, and it's smoking. Guys, that's how you build a campfire in Roblox. In case you don't want to work on this game by yourself and you want to form a team to work on this game, you can go up here and click on Collaborate. On this next window, you can add a list of people and give them authority to work on this game. For example, I'm going to add somebody, test skill, and I'll pick this user right here, test skill 67. And you can give this user authority either to edit, which means the user is going to be able to change your game and play your game, or to give the user only play authority, which means the player can only play test your game, but the player cannot make changes to your game. I'm going to give test skill edit authority, means he's going to be able to change my game and play my game. If you like to add more people, you can add more people. Otherwise, if you're done, just click Save. Assuming I'm test skill 67, so to access the games that are being shared with me, I would open up Roblox Studio, and I'm going to go to the Share With Me tab. And here I would see all the games that are being shared with me. I can double click on any game to edit and change the game. Now, if you want to remove a user from that list, you're going to click on Collaborate again. And here, to remove a user, just click on the X to remove the user and click Save. If you want to turn off Team Create completely, what you want to do is you want to go to the View menu tab and select Team Create. Here, you can go to click on the 3 dots at the bottom and say Disable Team Create. Click Yes. And now Team Create has been disabled for this game. You can close this window. In the Home menu tab, if you look to the upper right hand side corner, you have a Game Settings button. Here you can change the basic info of your game. For example, you can change the title of the game, you can change the description of the game. You can fill out the questionnaire, so Roblox can determine the age recommendation for your game, and you can upload your game icon. In the Communication tab, you can turn on your microphone and your camera. The Permission tab, you can set to see who can play your game. So for example, you can make your game private for yourself only, or you can make it available to the public, or for only your friends could play your game. Monetization, you can create the badges, and you can set up other stuff in here. For example, private servers. In the Security tab, you can allow HTTP requests from another server, or you can enable studio access to API services. You're gonna need to have this turned on if you want to use data stores inside your game. So we're gonna go over data stores later in our future tutorials. And also this is where you're gonna allow third-party teleports. So if you want to allow other people to teleport from their game to your game, you're gonna need to have this one turned on. In the Avatar menu tab, you can select which avatar type is gonna be in your game. So for example, right now, this game only supports R15, but you can change that to R6, or you can let the player decide what avatar they want to use. So basically, R6 is a character with only 6 different body parts. R15, the character has 15 different body parts. In the World menu tab, you can set the jump power, so the default is 50, and you can set the walk speed, the default is 16, but you can change those to anything you like. Okay, so those are just some of the more commonly used game settings that you would set inside Roblox Studio. There are times when you want to add dummies to your games. To add a dummy to your game, you're going to go to the Avatar menu tab. You're going to click on Rig Builder. If you want to add your own avatar to the game, just click on My Avatar. And there it is. Now you have a dummy that looks exactly like your character inside your game. To add more dummies, just click on Rig Builder again. You have different selections here. For the rig type, you can select either an R15 or an R6. An R15 has 15 different body parts, and R6 has 6 different body parts. Let's select an R15. You can choose between a male or a female. How about we choose a female? And I'm going to choose a skin avatar. So here is a female skin avatar. And then you can try different options if you like. Let's try one more. We're going to try a masculine block avatar. How about an R6 masculine block avatar? And here it is. It's a block avatar. If you look in the Explorer, expand the rig here, you're gonna see that this rig has only 6 different body parts: the head, left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg, and the torso. As opposed to the other rig, this female rig here has 15 different body parts. We're not gonna go over them all, but if you want, you can count them. You got the head, left foot, right hand, and so on. Now if you play your game, you're gonna see these dummies inside your game. And there they are. I'm gonna go and talk to myself. And here's the block rig. Oop, trip over him. And here's the female rig. That's how you add dummies to your game. If you go to your model menu tab, you're gonna see that you have the regular tools there to select, move, scale, and rotate. But you also have the transform tool. With the transform tool, it's like a combination of all 3 move, scale, and rotate combined. For example, now I'm gonna click on, let me move this up first. So I'm gonna put this up in the air and I'm gonna click on the transform tool. Now I can rotate the object. I can scale the object in different directions. Same with the rotation, I can rotate in different directions. And I can move the object. Notice that I'm able to move this object without changing its orientation or the Y position. As opposed to using the move tool here, if I move the object, you see the orientation changes, the rotation changes, and the Y position changes. But if I use the transform tool, I can move an object and preserve the Y position and the orientation. You can also use the transform tool to select and move multiple objects around without changing their orientation or Y position. As opposed to using the regular move tool, if I were to move these 2 parts, you see they all drop to the ground. You would lose their orientation and their Y position. One way to align your parts is to use the snap to grid here. So you select move, you select the part, and then you move the part. And then you do a Control D to copy the part, to duplicate the part, and then move it out by the exact amount each time. Control D again, and then move it out. You can even select this whole bunch of parts. For example, I'm going to select these 3 blocks here. I'm going to do Control D. And now I can move them out. I have 3 more blocks. 1, 2, 3. But what if we have some parts that are, I'm gonna change the size of the length of some of these parts. So now they're all uneven. They have different length. Okay, so what if you have something that looks like this? How would you align all these parts so that they line up in a straight line? Well, in your model menu tab, you have the align tool. Just click on that. And here you have the different mode. You can select to align all the parts at the bottom, in the middle, or at the top. How about we start at the bottom? If you look at the view selector here, you can see that my Z axis is going up and down in this direction. I'm going to select to align by the Z axis and click on align. Now you can see all my parts have aligned at the bottom. On the other hand, if you want to align them at the center, you can select this option right here, this mode here, and click align. Now they are all aligned at the center. And the last mode is to align them at the top. Select this one, click align. They are now all aligned at the top. That is how you use the align tool in Roblox to align your parts. And lastly, we're going to learn how to build 3D models using solid modeling inside Roblox Studio. Here you can see I have two different parts. Now I'm going to move this part into the other part, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both parts, the blue part and the yellow part, go up here to solid modeling, which is under the model menu tab, click on the down arrow and select union. Immediately you see my two parts has been combined into a new part named union. You can now rename this part my union. If you play test right now, you're gonna see that both parts are gonna stay together. And there it is, they're not gonna separate. In this next example, and I'm gonna change the color to black, and I'm gonna do a Control D to duplicate, and I'll bring the second sphere up a little bit and change the color to red. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my red wall into a negative part, which I'm gonna use it to hollow out the black wall. So this is my red wall being selected. I'm gonna go up here to solid modeling and select negate. Now you can see that my part, the red wall, has been changed to, the name has been changed to negative part, and you can see that it's a little the color, the transparency of the wall has been changed as well. Next, we're gonna select the negative part together with the part that I want to hollow out, which is my black wall. So press down Control key, select the black wall and the negative part, go up here, solid modeling, and click on union. Again, the two parts has been combined into a union part, and the union part is a ball that has been hollowed out in the middle, so it turned into a bow. We can rename this to bow. Let's play and take a look. And there is my bow. If you don't like the bow, you can undo what you did just by selecting the bow here. Go back up here to solid modeling and click on separate. So now it has separated the black wall and the negative part. If you want to undo the negative part, go back up here to solid modeling, and before I do that, let me just select only the negative part and go up here to solid modeling and click on negate, and it brings back the original wall. So now I have the red wall and the black wall. And the final option we have up there is if I select both the black wall and the red wall, and then go to solid modeling and click on intersect, that's gonna give me the section where both walls intersect. Let's play and take a look. And there it is. That's the middle part between the two walls. So guys, this is the end of our tutorial. I just want to take this opportunity again to remind you to subscribe and click on that bell icon so that you can be notified of new tutorials that are coming out. Our next tutorial series is going to be on scripting, so get ready for that. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in our next tutorial. Peace.